Ozonics Killerwinds podcast, back again. We are on location. If you can't tell, this is definitely not the Ozonics studio.
Live from camp, man. We're live from camp.
And hey, we got special guest. New character unlocked.
Yep, first
one.
time guest.
That's it.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Happy to be here, guys.
Go ahead and introduce him.
Yep, so this is my good buddy, Ben Griffin. He's from Georgia.
As you can probably tell.
yeah, he's got a little southern drawl to him. But yeah, no, you're from Georgia, right?
Yep. I'm from Georgia. Yeah, born and raised in Georgia. I'm about an hour south of Atlanta. Born and raised, and me and Nick actually met in Iowa. We took an internship together with Midwest Whitetail, and stayed friends ever since. So.
Yep, and good buddies ever since. Yeah, it's kind of a funny story. That first kind of transition of moving down there, I was all over the place. Living in different
He
places.
lived in a closet for a while, the way I understand
he
it.
lived in a closet.
That's where I ended up.
Yeah.
That's where I actually ended up. That's because I ended up moving in with him and the other intern, Jacob.
Yeah.
And the only room left was a good sized closet, and that's where I stayed.
It was spacious enough for a husband and wife.
yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's funny.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. I think that's kind of the special thing about the Midwest Whitetail internship is, and they told us this at the beginning, you're going to make buddies for life here. And that's exactly how it is. Now we're chasing elk. We chased Nilgai together, and I guess we weren't chasing, but we were filming, but it's still fun to be able to keep that connection. And, it's cool too. Like when you get hired onto a place, like I got hired at Ozonics and, hey, we're looking for a camera guy. I know just the guy to call. You know what I mean?
It's definitely not about what you know, it's who you know, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
And I feel like we were talking about that today. This whole thing feels like it's just a bunch of relationships, right?
Yeah.
Kind of getting to know people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun for me because, like I said, I've heard Nick talk a lot about you. And so it's fun
Hopefully good stuff.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. But to finally get to meet you is awesome. So it's been fun.
Yeah,
It's been a pleasure so far. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, you can't see this, but if you're watching it, got on some pretty awesome attire today.
Yep.
We coming down to this hunt, we decided we had to get some souvenirs.
Yeah.
And Nick was looking for a new hat. He wants a hat on every trip.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever we're going, he wants a magical hat. He always says it's going to speak to him.
Yes.
Which I don't really get that part. But I was bound and determined to get you a sombrero. That's what I was hoping for, was a sombrero.
Yep.
But we got out of Albuquerque and we were going west on Interstate 40. I don't even know where we were. Somewhere
along the way.
Yeah.
Take a right. That's all I know.
Yeah. Get off the next left, right, and then take a left.
Yeah.
But we were at a gas station and we saw these awesome, I don't even know what you call them. I was calling them, I don't even know what I was calling them.
Pancheros.
Yeah, Pancheros. That's not what they're called.
Yeah.
They're called, I Googled it, they're called Baja jackets or Baja sweatshirts.
Yep.
So we're
kidding.
Listen, this is the best $19.95 I think I've ever spent.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. They're definitely nice. I'm very tempted to take this on the hunt with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, mine's. I'm going for it on this color. I can't decide if it's pink, if it's like what color it is, blue. I got a lot going on here.
Well, after this trip, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I think the wife and kids are definitely gonna take that.
Yeah. My wife, she has a way of anytime I bring home a new sweatshirt, I only get to keep it for when I bring it home, and then she takes it.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah, I'll never get to have it again. But yeah, no, these sweatshirts are pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
I like how long they are too. I said I was gonna make it look like I didn't have hands the entire podcast. But I better just stick to the script here. Yeah. So yeah, we're pretty stoked about these hoodies, jackets, whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
The thing I don't understand about them though is it's got these little pull things, but they don't actually do anything.
They don't cinch nothing.
No, they don't cinch nothing. I honestly think I might cut mine off because it's just literally just here for looks.
They're for looks.
I have a good feeling I'll end up yanking mine off.
Yeah,
Eventually.
that's what I'm saying. I was looking. I think I can unstitch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think they smell a little funny. They smell a little.
That's all right. That's
like a bit in a cardboard box for a while.
It's all part of it.
Definitely a New Mexico gas station.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. But we made a bunch of friends at that gas station too. We had a bunch of guys walking up. We were trying to take a group picture.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. We ran into some guys that were from Texas. They were heading to Las Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's like some big
motocross
world championship
thing.
thing.
They said they're hitting every track on the way too. Apparently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're in no hurry
Yeah.
at all.
But yeah, so we're here. We're in the Gila. We're pretty excited. We're actually in elk camp right now. This is the lodge that we're staying at. We'll put some video in here of showing kind of where we're at. It's a pretty cool little place.
Oh, it's a sweet place. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Very
Yeah,
pretty.
Buddy and Scott are rearing to go. So I'll be filming Scott the way it sounds. Ben's going to be filming Buddy.
Yep.
And Nick's going to be kind of field producing, running around, getting a bunch of any type of video content that we can think of.
Yep. A lot of video content. Probably going to be doing some computer work too.
Yep.
Just getting stuff kind of produced as quickly as possible. So it should be
We'll
good.
probably be posting stuff as we're here because there's actually Starlink.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has been a
Clutch.
game saver,
Yeah, that
Very
Starlink
clutch.
Mini is insane.
game changer already. And we've been here for 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so it's interesting. We actually, as we're doing this, there's some pretty dark clouds in the sky and it's starting to clear off again, but we actually got a little bit of rain today.
Yeah.
It's been, from what the guides are saying, and what we stopped at the grocery store in Reserve right near where we are, it sounds like it has been extremely dry
Yep.
Yeah.
and really, really slow.
Yeah.
You had a buddy that was actually hunting not too far from here.
Yeah, so he was in the unit next to us, and I actually ran into about 2 days before we headed out here.
Yeah.
And he was saying that the cows are really skinny, there's no water, and the bulls are still all bachelored up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely going to be some different hunting this week, I would assume.
Yeah.
But, I think with some good luck, I think we can get it done.
Yeah.
We'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I mean, and talking to the guides a bit earlier, they were just, because that's like for us running camera, it's like, okay, man, kind of what's the plan a little bit so we know how to plan ahead.
Yeah.
He talked about that we would probably be doing, I guess, what we would call like running and gunning in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getting out, seeing if we can hear something, locate something, and then make a move. And then if we do, stay on it as long as we can.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work out, come back during the day. And then it sounds like they try to go out during the day and try to check water that they know about, see if they can cut fresh tracks, see if they can find a muddy hole. Muddy hole means if it's clear water, definitely means something's been there. If it's muddy water, it means something's been there.
Something's been in there.
So they're going to try to look for that. He talked about kind of plan A, B, C, and then make a plan for the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like in the evening we may sit a bit of water. Like even today, like we got a rain, but it's not enough to puddle up or anything.
it's not enough to make a difference.
Yeah, it just soaks right in. So we might be sitting over water. He sounds like he's got brush, like kind of just like brushed in spots where we could sit up near water, or it's got a couple pop-ups that we could sit into.
Yep.
So we'll kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And me and Ben were talking before the trip, and we were kind of talking about the weather and what his buddy was saying. It's like, man, you just control what you can control, man. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
and
that's the thing. I mean, it's like you hear me say this all the time. There's two things you can't control: the weather and the animals, right?
yeah, exactly.
And you just can't. That's what they've kind of run into thus far is the weather
Yeah.
and the animals.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you come into camp, and as camera guys, there's you have to think about a few different things than the hunter, obviously, because from a camera guy standpoint and producer standpoint, if we're not having bulls screaming in our face all week, that's going to be a pretty boring video. So you have to start thinking about that. How can we as cameramen and producers, make this as interesting as possible?
Yeah.
So for us, I mean, there's a whole nother aspect that comes into this for us. And
Yeah. Got to get
I think
creative.
we'll be all right. I think we got some creative dudes here.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna be all right.
Well, I was saying that before we did the podcast today. We're all pretty half stupid, but we combine
Yeah.
the minds together. We
got this thing, this little studio whipped up here in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
got her dialed in.
We got a third of a brain cell amongst all of us. We got one whole brain cell sitting right here right now. So we're doing pretty good.
But I think what you said, Ben, right there is 100% true. I mean, it's interesting because videoing a hunt and being the hunter on a video hunt, it's so different.
Absolutely.
Like even today, we get here, Scott and Buddy are out shooting their bows, they're getting stuff ready, they're just double checking stuff, they're looking over gear, and we're spending hours putting
Tinkering.
stuff together, just tinkering, all these little things.
Yeah.
And to your point, when you hear the guy say, it's been a little bit slow, we just got to hope you guys are willing to, kind of do whatever we got to do to try to get them. That can be hard from a video perspective.
Yeah, as a video guy myself, man, I hear that and my wheels just automatically just start spinning. Like, how can I, even it's just shots. You just get some cool shots, get some interesting shots, get some good B-roll, and just do what you can to make it as interesting as you can.
Yeah,
and that's all you can do.
Yeah, and then like I said, I think that's what's fun about videoing hunts is at a certain point you just have to let the hunt play out, and we talked a lot about that before this trip. You just kind of have to, the story kind of unfolds, and you just hope that you do everything you can every day to document it so that however it does work out, you can tell that story.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'm pretty excited. And like Nick and I were talking about before, we talked about this last week. I would rather, when they said it's been slow, that doesn't bother me as much because from my, like I said, from my guiding experience, especially in September, the elk are going to rut at some point, and they're going to start lighting up. And the variables that I really think about, we talked about this, is the moon.
Yeah.
Right? It's a new moon on September 22nd, which is smack dab in the middle of this hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on it's less than a quarter moon right now. So the moon is going the right direction in the perspective of when there's a full moon, they just seem like they, in my experience, elk do a lot more of what they do at night. Well, with a new moon, it seems like you can get them on their feet more during the day. You can get a lot more action.
Yeah.
So that's number one. But number two, when it's been slow early, for every push there's a pull, for every give there's a take. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it's like when it's slow early, I guarantee you there's a lot of guys that would love to be Scott and Buddy right now that wish that they were going to be coming to the Gila right now.
Yeah.
They wish they wouldn't have planned it for September 5th. They wish they planned it for September 15th.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a good buddy that's from New Mexico that's driving here right now with a camper, getting ready to go on a hunt. And that guy's hunted the Gila his whole life. And so if he's coming here right now, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're right on the cusp of this all breaking loose.
Yep.
And we just hope that it breaks loose in the next, while we're here.
We could hit the woods in the morning. It could be on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's just like turkey hunting, man. One day you go and you don't hear jack squat, and the next morning you go to the same spot and they're just firing off everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just, you got to have a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Got to hit it right. But, like you said, I don't think there's a better time to be here than right now.
Oh, yeah, dude. You're hitting the nail on the head there. There isn't a better time.
No.
Second half September in the Gila with a new moon, sign me up.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good time to be
Heck
here.
yeah.
Let's go, boys.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it should
I'm
be
so
really, really
excited.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, the other thing we got to make sure we talk about today is Nick's hat. Like I said earlier, I was really hoping for a sombrero, but he says that the hat has to speak to him.
It does. We were at some other gas station. Cole's like, "Hey, what about this hat?" I'm like, "I already looked at it, and it just
Well,
didn't talk to me."
Well, it didn't talk to you also because it was white with lots of sparkles on it.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you never know.
If it
If it would have been white and
speaks,
sparkles and it would have spoke to you, you would have got it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I did not. I didn't think that was gonna.
Yeah.
I thought you would have for sure been.
I can confirm I think amongst all of us in Texas the other day, I think we spent probably close to $75 on hats in a Mexican restaurant. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Buddy's wearing his right now.
Yeah,
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 he's wearing it right now.
There it is.
Yep, he is.
That's
and
funny.
and then I bought one at another grocery store too.
Yeah, I
think.
bought one too.
Yep, you
I was
did
at
too.
that like knockoff Buc-ee's
Yep, and then
place. Yeah.
then from the ranch that we were at, they gave us a hat too. So I came home with 3 new hats.
Yeah.
I actually think I saw hats in there. I saw an outfitter hat in there. I'm pretty sure it was an outfitter hat that's got your name written all over it.
We'll see. You can't get too greedy with it. It's just gonna happen naturally.
See, listen to this guy.
It does. You can't push for it.
I'll go there and ask for one. I'll,
No, but so tell the story about your hat.
So I was looking for some hydrocortisone cream.
That was the whole thing. Listen, I didn't want to say it in the heat of the moment, but what needs to be noted is that we were at a Target yesterday
Yes.
I know.
where there was like probably a half an aisle of hydrocortisone
Yes.
cream.
Yeah, I
and
know.
I didn't want to pour salt on the wound because I just thought that was going to go
Well,
over like a fart in church.
yeah.
Well,
But you could have got it at Target.
Well, I know that for sure. But I was thinking, I mean, we were going to be stopping at gas stations, and what gas station does have hydrocortisone cream?
Several we stopped
I
at
guess
today.
a
The
lot
bunch
of
that we
them.
stopped at. And so there was one more little grocery store that we had to stop in quick, and walked in there. There's some hydrocortisone cream. Looked to my left.
But there was some queen in there. There was a
Some
little
queen.
hydrocortisone queen.
Sorry.
Cortisone queen.
Sorry. But I looked to my left, and there was a couple hats there that say the Gila on them.
Here was
and-
the look on his face. He looked at me. He was all excited.
Yeah, and
It was really all by design, because if he had got his hydrocortisone cream, he never would have come
Exactly.
across the hat.
That's exactly. So
the
that's
good
what
Lord above works in mysterious ways.
He
I'll
does.
say that.
that
He
was
does.
part of his butterfly effect. We
Yeah.
talked about that today.
And then it was really funny too. I was checking out, and Cole tells the gal that was checking me out, yeah, he said that hat talked to him. I think that's really weird because hats don't talk to him. Cole walks away and she goes, they definitely talk to you.
Yeah. I heard her say that. I heard her say
I'm like, thank you.
I didn't hear her say that.
that. Oh, I'll tell you what, I don't know. Reserve felt a lot like where I used to be in Southern Colorado when I worked down there.
Mm-hmm.
You get in these small towns and there's a little gas station or there's a little grocery store.
Yep.
But it's funny because there's a little meat counter in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a little meat counter in the back.
Yep.
I saw that. I was like, oh, man, I almost want to buy just a couple steaks just because.
He had some good-looking steaks.
Yeah, he
there.
did. Yeah, he did.
I had to look at them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And usually the bathroom isn't where you can find it. It's usually like around a corner through the back.
Yeah.
That's what the bathroom was.
Yep. So yeah,
But,
no, I'm fired up about the hat. I think it's a sweet hat.
And if we could track a bull down that looks remotely like that, we'd be in business.
Oh my gosh, we'll be standing in tall clover. I'll be grinning like a mule eating briars.
I love that one.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the other part that happened today, Nick saw a fellow Wisconsinite. What do you call it? Wisconsin?
Yeah, Wisconsinite, fellow cheesehead.
He was too.
Yeah, he asked me. He goes, "Are you a Packer fan?" I said, "You bet I am." And then when
I
I
had
was
to
leaving,
rattle off the cheesehead for life as I walked by.
And in the true Wisconsin fashion, the first thing they talked about was where they were both from.
Yeah.
But the best part about it was that he goes, "Oh yeah, so you're basically in Minnesota." Oh, that got Nick a little offended. You can tell he wasn't happy about that.
Yeah. That one hit deep. That one hurt a little bit, but hey, I'm not in Minnesota. We're on the east side of the river, so we're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
inch or a mile, doesn't matter.
exactly.
You're still on the right side.
Confirmed it is in
Exactly.
Wisconsin. I have been there.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it's good. I'm excited for the week. It's gonna be fun. Just get to hang out with a couple buddies and
Yeah.
we're just gonna enjoy the trip. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm really, really excited to see how it all works out. Like I said, it's kind of bizarre too. We were talking about it. The last time I saw Scott and Buddy in person was
Our Montana
2
trip.
years ago in
Yep.
Montana on an elk hunt.
Yep.
Really?
It's been 2 years since I've seen them in person. Talk to them all the time. Talk to them. See them on the screen all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meetings
It's
and
been
whatnot.
2 years since I've seen them in person, which
know
is
that.
just wild. I didn't think, I'm like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
So I think it's been 2 years.
Yep.
That's
Dang.
so crazy to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And like I said, we had a great time in Montana. The accommodations here are awesome
Yeah.
too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's this lodge is sick. We've all got nice, beds to sleep in and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
hot showers. And
Yep.
yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it will be fun. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
how it all plays out.
Yeah. Like you said, so we're in Unit 15. That's where we're hunting. Where this lodge is, it sounds like we're really close to Unit 23, or this is Unit 23 maybe, but where we're going to be hunting is Unit 15. It sounds like we're going to be kind of on like the western side of Unit 15
Yeah.
from what they were explaining.
Mhm.
But like I said, that's the nice thing about these tags. We can hunt anywhere in Unit 15.
Mhm.
So it sounds like they're really going to try to go where we can find some elk.
Yep.
Yeah. We got some ground to cover. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
They also made it sound like some of the areas that they checked there, it looked like there had been kind of that first round of guys that were hunting early. And they went in there and looked like a lot of guys had kind of pulled out.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, heck, it is Thursday. So
Yeah.
a lot of guys will probably be leaving tomorrow.
Yep. Or there's also going to be a lot of guys showing up, right? Because you're going to
Sure.
have the weekend warrior guys on a Friday that's going to be like, hey, let's hunt the weekend. And
Yeah.
we saw some guys on the way down,
Yep.
that had camp set up.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Heck yeah.
The other thing we saw on the way here, which I was pretty stoked about, we saw some antelope.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. There was what was it, $2 or $3?
$3, yep. And
Yeah,
then there was a bunch
$3.
of does out to the west of where they were.
Yeah. And two of those bucks, they were ready to duke it out right there in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
They were. I think Nick got some really good footage of them too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I burned up some SD cards on them jokers, but
yeah.
Well, the funniest part about that, when we got off, we got our jackets. After that, we started coming south towards Reserve, and that's a beautiful drive. Some really, really pretty country. Well, it's pretty open highway, right? So you're passing people here and there, and we passed the semi. Then we'd see something, we'd stop, and he'd pass us.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get going again, pass him.
Pass
Then
him
we
again.
saw the antelope.
Yeah.
Then he passed us again.
Yeah.
Then we had a bathroom break. He passed us again.
We were playing leapfrog with
I
them.
think the third time he slowed down. He's
Yeah.
like, all right,
He's
come on,
like,
man,
I'll just
go.
go on by.
Yeah. You could tell he was like, this is getting annoying.
Out of staters.
yeah, exactly.
Tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing we were going to kind of chat about, just a little riff sesh, is, it's interesting because obviously on this podcast, we talk a lot about Iowa, right? Obviously, we talk a lot about Iowa. But it would be kind of cool to talk to Ben a little bit about, you were born and raised in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And just,
Southern man at heart.
yeah, right on. Yeah. And like you said, so first question is, and I just don't even know, are Georgia seasons in yet?
Yeah.
Has
So
anything
Georgia
started
season
yet?
came in September 13th.
Okay.
Same as Wisconsin.
Yeah. So Came in September 13th.
Is that bow season or rifle
Yeah,
season?
so it's just bow season. Our gun season, I'm not a big gun hunter, so if any of the Southern guys watching, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure. I want to say it comes in somewhere like early October.
Okay.
But yeah, so gun season runs October all the way through January.
Okay.
So it gets it can get pretty tough.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Yeah.
When gun season comes in. But
Yeah.
yeah. I'm born and raised in kind of west central Georgia. Locals call it the Piedmont region. It's
Okay.
kind of hilly, not really mountainy, but you got some rolling hills, a lot of hardwoods, a lot
Okay.
of pines and stuff like that. And you know, with so much cover, it can make the hunting very, very, very different from hunting in Iowa. And that's the first thing when I moved to Iowa, I realized is the hunting, just hunting whitetails in general up there is just a complete different ballgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start from scratch for me. And, you know,
In what ways? What do you mean by that?
man, so the deer in Iowa have way more food.
Yeah.
And, you know, because you have so much alfalfa and so much corn.
Yep.
Just the agriculture overall, there's just so much more of that. And you can kind of predict where the deer are going to come from in Iowa because the bedding areas are, I mean, you can look at an Onyx map and get a pretty good idea where the deer are going to be.
Yeah.
Whereas like in Georgia, man, it's just, they have so many on the hindsight, on the other side of that, they don't have as much food, but they have way more places to bed.
Yeah.
So that's where it can get really tough. And it takes a lot of scouting and walking around to get an idea of what the deer are doing, just putting boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And, you can get on Onyx, and you know there's a lot of large pines in Georgia. Pines is a big production out of Georgia, and
You're talking about that, like deer will bed in those pines. Like
they will.
Yeah.
They will. So if you have a stand of 5-year-old pines, they're going to be around 8 to 10 feet tall, but underneath that they're going to be absolutely littered in briars. Like you
Okay.
cannot walk through them. The quickest way to get somebody really ticked off after they shoot a doe on opening day is for that doe to run up into those briars where she came from embedded.
Oh.
Is the worst thing ever.
It's like you wonder how they even get through through that and not get briars all over 'em.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it,
Yeah.
but they love it. That's like if they could pick one place, that's probably where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But so yeah, you're going to find a lot of that in Georgia, and then you know. Talking about pinch points, you know, the pinch points in Iowa, you know, you look on Onyx, you see a hardwood draw, you're like pinch point all
Yeah.
day, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of the same concept in Georgia too. You go look and you're like, okay, I see pines on the left side, pines on the right, and I got a 20-foot strip of really nice oaks going right through the middle of that.
Yep.
Those deer are going to use that as a travel corridor all day. Because the deer, you know, they obviously are bedding in that.
Mhm.
They can't get around very good in that though, you know.
Yeah.
So they're gonna bust into the pines, take their nap, and then as soon as they're ready for food, they're gonna bust right back into the oaks and eat the oaks, and then they're gonna travel to the big ag too. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the gist of it. I would say, you know, you can hunt transitional areas. Water's always good.
Yeah.
I think anywhere in the country really.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
But
sure.
you know, pinch points is kind of my bread and butter.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I've found my success at.
Yep.
Is especially in the rut. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just we have a classic November rut just like Iowa,
Okay.
and so you know, November 1st hits. That's where you're going to find me
Interesting.
all day, every day.
So do you guys get like in Iowa? We have a lot in northern Iowa, especially. We get a lot of prevailing northwest wind.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yes.
set a lot of stands for northwest winds.
Yeah.
We have other stands for other winds, but it's like northwest is that's kind of your bread and butter. Is there a prevailing wind where you're at that you guys have to go into a spot and go, okay, this is how we're going to hunt the wind?
Yeah, we tend to have a lot of northwest winds.
Okay.
For me and my dad and all the guys that I hunt with, we see a south wind and we're just cussing up a storm. You know,
Yeah.
that's really not good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, for us, that's like an east wind. Southeast wind is
East,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, what are we going to do today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of the northwest. And then I found, at least on several of the properties I hunt, I think it has a lot to do with like how it's set up and like the pinch points and the hills and stuff. But for some odd reason, I get a lot of west winds, specifically on my granddad's property I was telling you about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes it really hard to hunt in that area I was telling you about where that big buck is I've been going after.
Yep.
So I utilize a saddle almost religiously down there,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
because I mean I've literally swapped trees 3 times in one hunt because of the wind.
Oh, jeez.
So it gets really frustrating really quick, and
Yeah.
it just swirls so much.
Yeah.
You know, it goes through those nooks and crannies, and hits the hardwoods, and it'll say it's a north wind, and it'll be blowing straight out of the west.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you never really know. And sometimes, you know, having the ozonics always helps with that. You know,
Yeah.
it helps a lot doing
Yeah,
that.
for
So
sure.
I know this past year specifically, it definitely eased my mind a little bit.
Yeah,
in
no
the
doubt.
stand. So
Well, that's like even talking about the ozonics. I feel like that's what's interesting for us being in Iowa and being on the phones in the fall. We got a lot of guys calling. And when we go travel at the shows, we used to do the NWTF show, and you get a lot of guys from the South that would come to the NWTF show in Nashville. We've done the Dixie Deer Classic in Raleigh, and you get a lot of guys from the South at that, obviously. Yeah. But what you hear, what I feel like the guys in the South deal with that I think that we take for granted in the Midwest is the heat. Yeah. Like if you're going out in the woods, like you're sweating.
Yes.
Like you're going to get sweaty.
It is. It's so hard to get me in the woods right now.
Yeah,
in the South, man. It's just, if I don't have a deer if I have a deer showing up on camera and he's borderline daylight, I'm in there for sure.
Yeah.
But if I have a deer that's getting in there at 3 or 4 in the morning, he's not even touching anywhere near daylight.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait. Yeah. I'm just going to wait because you're going to get carried off by mosquitoes.
Yeah, dude.
And you're going to sweat your absolute butt off doing it, you know. So it's just and I think in the last few years specifically, I mean, I don't know if I was dealt with it quite as much. I think I did last year, just with like the warmer weather later into the season.
Yes. And well, that was my next question for you is like, because if we get warmer weather later, it slows everything down. Obviously, we're always hoping for cold fronts.
Yeah.
But if we get warm weather in November, it's not that they don't do what they do, but it's like, gosh dang, this kind of sucks.
Yeah. For sure.
Is that like, obviously it's warm in Georgia throughout the year. So what do you consider warm and what do you consider cold in the rut? You know what I mean? Like what's too warm where it really starts affecting them?
We've hunted mid-November in the low 70s before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean the deer are doing their thing.
Yeah,
you know, they're definitely still rutting, but it's like you said, it's not near as enjoyable.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about the mosquitoes, but it's just like, you know, you think in November, you're thinking like low 40s, high 30s, you know, crisp, cool morning.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of like what everybody dreams of for a rut hunt. You know, and
that's
it. You definitely get that, you know, but it seems to be less and less of that in the last few years.
Sure.
People call it global warming, whatever you want to call it, but it's definitely been noticeable. But
or like whatever type of cycle we're in right now, it just feels like we're having a lot more warm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it seems it's weird too because I was talking to some of the other guys that are here hunting, and one of the guys is actually from like an hour north of me. Which is crazy. That's 2 years. That's 2 years in a row I've met somebody within an hour where I'm from.
Isn't that crazy?
Some random,
what are the
like last year I was in Utah.
Chances?
I was in the desert in Utah last year. I just met this random guy. He was there hunting.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm from Macon." I'm like, like how, bro? How's this happen all the time? We're living in a simulation, I swear. But yeah, no. I mean, you still going back to the rut and November hunting and stuff. I mean, you still don't get me wrong. I mean, we still have some pretty cold weather. And I was telling the owners of the property here earlier because they were asking me about. I was like, you know, it doesn't get near as cold. You know, like a mid 30s to low 30s in November is pretty good. You know, for us. But the humidity kills us. The humidity, it'll say it's 33 outside, and you walk outside and that wind blows a little bit, and you're like, my God, it feels like it's 15 degrees out here. It's just because the humidity is at 100% all the time. Yes,
so we get humidity in the Midwest too, and when you hear guys that come to the Midwest and they've never experienced that, that's what'll get you.
Yes,
it's the humidity.
Yes,
the humidity. It will just rip right through you
for sure.
Because it could be 30 degrees, but if it's a 15-mile-an-hour wind at 60, 70, 80% humidity. You better be ready.
That reminds
me. It will bite you.
That reminds me of, you remember like 2 days before the season, I went out with Caleb at Midwest Whitetail when we were interning together, and he was like, "Hey man, we're gonna sit on the ground," and it's like 2 feet of snow. It's like -12 with a wind chill of like -30, and I'm like, dude, you are like. This old Georgia boy ain't ready for that. And I will be honest with you. He gave us, like he said, he's like, bro, we don't have to go, but. Me being the only guy from the South in that entire house, there was 5 of us in that house, by the way, and I was the only one from the South. They, of course, gave me the most crap about, you know, not being able to take the cold or anything like that. So I was like, no, we're going. Like, we're hitting. I don't care if we don't see a deer. And we ended up seeing, like, one little spike come out, and he, like, ran across the field, and he got, like, halfway across the field, and he's like, no, screw this, and went right back where he came from. And I cut the camera on and immediately shut off because it was so cold. I was like, let's just get out of here. I did it. We're good now.
That's funny. Well, that's the interesting thing is, like you said, I mean, even with Scott and Buddy, right? When Buddy came to Iowa years ago, and we had some colder weather, and it just, they're not, guys from the South just aren't as much used to the cold weather. But you could say that about guys from the upper Midwest too. Like, we come to the heat, man, and I sweat, bro. I so wet.
It'll get you quick.
Yeah, man. I can't
figure out which one I'd rather deal with.
Cold for sure.
Cold for sure.
I'm leaning that way.
Oh yeah, mine's cold for sure.
No doubt cold.
But then you stick me in a situation like I was with Caleb that day. I'm like, no, screw this.
But see, I think mine's a 2-part answer to that. If it's extreme cold or extreme heat,
Yeah.
I probably would rather have extreme cold, right? But if it's the average or like just nice, like a crispy colder day or a nice 60, 70 degree day, give me the 60 to 70 degree day.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But man, when it's like 100 degrees outside, 105,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I would rather
terrible.
it be like really, really cold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From
I mean, the really, really cold will kill you too. You know
oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, it will.
But anyway,
it
yeah,
will.
I don't know.
But I know what I was gonna say is like coming off. We talked about what I do outside the film, and I obviously have a whole nother career.
Yeah.
I'm a fireman by trade, and
Yeah.
man, I can tell you this right now. I will 100% agree with you. I would rather fight a fire in negative 100 degrees than what I've been dealing with this summer, man. It has been absolutely horrendous. I've been doing in the back of an ambulance once already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just so hot, man. It's just so hot.
Yeah.
You just wear out so fast doing that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, dude.
But,
Just zaps you.
oh yeah, it does. It does. You can work for about 15 minutes. You're like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Isn't it? Well, and especially from the firefighter perspective, it's got to be just all the gear, right?
That's 100% it. And,
Yeah.
and
It doesn't breathe. I mean, it's
yeah,
not, it's not meant
it
to
lets
breathe.
nothing out. It insulates you because it's protecting you from the elements around you.
Yeah.
But in return, it's quite literally like a sauna. Like that's literally what it is. You'll lose. I've literally sat on a fire before for like an hour and a half and lost like 10 pounds just from water. And you'll sit there and drink like 15 bottles of water while you're there and just
Really?
yeah, it's a whole nother ball game. It has been a very eye-opening experience the past 3 years I've been doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'd say
but I
so.
really enjoy it. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
and it allows me to do this and hunt and
Well, yeah,
all
it
this other
sounds
cool
like you
stuff
have,
too.
and you have freedom.
I do,
right?
yeah.
That's
It's
a nice
great.
thing.
It's great. I basically don't take a day off until hunting season,
Yeah.
and I can take a month off if I wanted to. I won't do that. Sorry, I'm not gonna do that, Chief. But it gives me the opportunities to do stuff like that, and that's what's so great about it, because me as a freelance camera guy, I'm not clocking into a corporate company to produce every day. So it allows me to knock out work at the station when it's slow. It allows me to take the time off and go do the hunts I want to do and hunt for myself when I want to. And it's just been a really good opportunity to better myself and my business on the side too. So it's been a really good experience for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's interesting to talk about that. I mean, there's a lot of value in freedom. I have a good friend that job he really likes, but at a job he really likes and he has a lot of freedom. And he had an opportunity for something else, but it would be more just neck down.
Mm-hmm.
The freedom would go away.
Yeah.
Better this, better pay, better whatever. And he went round and round and round, and he kind of had to make a decision. And I called him, I'm like, what'd you decide? And he asked me, he's like, what do you think I decided? And I'm like, I think you didn't take it. And he didn't.
Yeah.
Because of the freedom.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's lots to be said about that.
Lots.
There's lots to be said about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's always a balancing act, right? Like, and I think too, for like the position that you two guys are in, you guys are both in your mid 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
27, 20.
26.
Okay, right there. I'm 40, so I'm a little bit older.
Yeah.
Again, both are single, girlfriend.
Yeah.
But you don't have any
Just
kids.
recently.
There you go. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Shout out wifey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. But the nice thing is like you're at that age to do the freedom part, right?
Yeah.
And at a certain point, like I was there too. And then at a certain point, it's like, man, you know what? Like I can't be gone 200 days a year.
No, you
You know what I
can't,
mean?
man. It's impossible. And everybody
Yeah.
wants to, everybody says they want to hunt for a living. And it's
Yeah.
that's unfortunately just not the reality of it, most of the time.
Well, and I think the thing that when I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, being a videographer full time, you'd have a lot of people that say that, oh man, dude, you're just living the dream. Like this is so awesome.
Oh yeah.
And it is really, really fun. Like, don't get me wrong. It's really, really fun. But the thing I would always tell them is like, hey man, listen, and there's a lot of jobs like this, like right now, what are we going to do tonight? We're going to watch Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Right. You look at those people like, oh man, those NFL football players, like, man, what a life. Like, think about that, making all this money and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
What you don't see is they get done with that game night. They don't get to sleep in their home to bed.
No.
They're not there with their kids. Their kids are maybe had a rough day and they're going to get up in the morning and go to kindergarten or second grade or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're gone. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think what I think you're describing and what I think a lot of people don't realize about being a videographer and doing this type of stuff is there's a lot of sacrifice.
Very much so.
Even right now. I mean, I got 4 kids at home and 1 at college.
Yeah.
I got my wife trying to manage the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Scott's away from his dental practice. He's got buddies away from his stuff.
Yeah.
You've got a girlfriend at home. You know what you do for a living. It takes a lot of sacrifice to do it. And I don't mean that it's not really, really fun, because it is. And the juice is worth the squeeze.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no doubt.
But I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. And then when they get into it, they figure that out and they're like, oh man, dude, like
Yeah.
this isn't what I signed up for.
Right. And not to mention, the behind the scenes stuff, going back to like the football players, they don't see the amount of work they put in behind the scenes, the amount of film. Like they get done with the game, they immediately go watch their film.
Yeah.
And for us, I mean, it's like
Same thing
we get
with us.
back from a hunt and like we're straight to the computer dropping footage, and then in some cases going straight into editing the show.
Yeah.
And like me, I know Nick can attest. I mean, there's been a lot of sleepless nights.
Well,
Lots of sleepless nights.
I
over
joked
this
with
stuff.
Nick this morning. My watch said my sleep score was 71. And I was like, well, it's probably the best it's going to be for a while.
Oh,
Because this
yeah,
whole
no
week,
doubt.
it's going to be no sleep.
No, we're gonna be grinding the rest of the week. That's for
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly. It's going to be staying up late, getting up early.
Yep.
And there's just a lot to it.
There is. It's
Yeah.
a lot more than, and I mean, transparency. I had no idea. I mean, I took that internship. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
I remember calling my mom 2 weeks into it and being like, "Mom, I don't know if I want to do this."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Just give it some more time. Give it some more time."
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did. But I think that went through everybody's head at some point, no doubt.
sure.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
Just like anything.
everybody. I mean, I was just like everybody else. It was like, man, that looks so cool. I want to go do that for a living. I want to
Yeah.
do really cool stuff and see some really cool stuff. And
Yeah.
you get to do that. But I had nobody has any idea until they do it, just how much it really takes to learn how to do
Yeah,
it and
no
then be
doubt.
proficient and good at it for years to come, because it's ever evolving. We were talking about that yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That you get on Instagram and you see something you've never seen before, and then you can get on 10 minutes later and you can say something else you've never seen before,
Yeah.
because it's constantly evolving, and you have to stay up to date with the trends and
It's a moving target.
and how exactly, and how things are, what's working and what's not, because it changes every day,
Oh,
every
yeah.
single day.
Well, that's even like, I mean, it's crazy to think that, Nick, you've been at Ozonics now. This is your 3rd fall.
Yep.
Yeah, your 3rd fall.
Yep.
And to think about, we were joking about the cameras that we're running right here, we just got a new camera.
Yeah.
We were all excited about. Yep.
That
That
one
one
right
right
there.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, a Sony A1 Pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So now when we do what we do, we've kind of got all matching cameras in the fact of like the quality that all looks very similar, great depth, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I was a videographer 10, 15 years ago. These mirrorless cameras and everything, that wasn't even hardly a thing at that point, right? It was camcorder style cameras,
Right.
and even, when you were at Midwest Whitetail, we were talking about, we're going to be running GoPros this week, right? We're
Yeah.
trying to get kind of a second angle,
Yeah.
like that kind of live in the moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of thing. You're like, man, I haven't ran GoPros in a
haven't ran
long
one.
time.
I haven't
Yeah.
ran one since Midwest Whitetail.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. So
Yeah.
I had to have Nick completely
Yeah.
reteach me. I mean, because I run a mirrorless camera off a little miniature arm,
Yeah.
and tree stands and stuff like that, and that's just what I've done.
Right.
It's my preference.
Right.
Yeah.
But I definitely humbled me a little bit, because I got in there and I started hitting the buttons and trying to get. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
That's not how this works anymore.
Yeah.
I can't remember how to do this. I was like, Nick, you got to show me how to do this, man. I can't remember.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Something
man.
as simple as a little GoPro too. I can
Yeah.
go over and run like all these big cameras we got now, and then you put a little GoPro in my hand. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, dude, it is. It's constantly changing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting. Like and I think that's the thing. It's just with all this content stuff and video stuff and all of it, man, it's just always, I mean, even this year we've got some new cameras, we got a new hard drive.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like it just all really starts to add up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
But that being said, there is absolutely nothing else I would rather be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's nothing else I'd rather do with my time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing exactly. I think we can all attest. I feel like I'm doing exactly what I was put on this earth to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and I think like earlier tonight, my boy Jet called, right? He's got flag football tonight and he's going hunting. Youth hunting in Iowa starts this weekend. And my brother-in-law, Justin, has taken his boys and taken Jet with him. And Jet called me and I know he's excited to see the footage when we get back.
Yeah.
He was asking, so when are you going to post it? When is it going to be on there? When can I watch it? And I think that's the part that means the most to me now is to be able to, you capture those moments and you can share it with the people that are important to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've
It's
gotten in the
really, really
habit.
cool.
I've gotten in the habit of taking like 2 or 3 stills I take from each trip and framing them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like I have
Yeah.
like a whole wall now of like all the different places I've been, and it's starting to add up a little bit now.
yeah,
You know, and
yeah.
I'll sit back sometimes and look at it and be like, man, this is like really cool
Yeah,
to
no
think
doubt.
about. Like
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
puts things into perspective a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize how many. Like I've been to like 34 states now, I think.
Holy cow,
And I
really?
didn't even realize that till 2 weeks ago.
Really?
No, I swear.
Dang.
And I was like, my Lord, like there's, like people would do anything to do this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know we're talking like, you know, how hard it is and the sacrifices and this and that and the other, but like you said, the juice is absolutely worth the squeeze. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
No. Well, hey, I think that's a good place to end it right there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
I think
Okay.
that's a great little ending.
Little
yeah,
send off.
appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
an
No,
honor.
Yeah,
it's,
no
it's-
doubt, man.
it's been really cool to get to meet you, man. Like I said, Nick mostly had good things to say.
Yeah.
He's definitely got some bad things to say too. He does.
No, and that's and we talked about that in the ride down here. You know, this part of it is the part that I mean, I love the hunting too, but it's like the before the hunt and then the kind of when you get back to camp and the camaraderie and after
Yeah.
the hunt. That's some of my favorite parts. Some of the memories that I remember the most.
No
yeah.
doubt.
You know, so
Yep.
sometimes the day to day kind of all blurs together.
Yeah.
You obviously remember that heat of the moment encounter.
Yeah.
But this is the stuff that I tend to never forget.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
sure.
So
Absolutely.
well, awesome. All right. Well, another podcast in the books. Ozonics Killerwinds podcast. Thanks again for listening. Next podcast, we will have a full, probably in the middle of and or recap of hunting in the Gila, New Mexico.
Yep.
Scott
Probably
and Buddy edition.
probably in this exact same spot. It's gonna be
I
awesome.
like that.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Hey, stay classy.
See you next week.
Stay classy.